Guardians, whether you are a casual player or a seasonal veteran, the right weapons can make all the difference in Destiny 2. In this video, we'll be diving deep into the game to unveil the top 5 non-endgame weapons that will turn you into a formidable force without the need for raids or high-end content. Get ready to enhance your arsenal and dominate the universe of Destiny 2. Guardians, before we get into things with the video, I want to preface first. So with these weapons are in no particular order. These are weapons that I feel that, one, that are really good in the game that don't require you to run any type of in-game content to acquire them. This is going to be a guide that's very catered to the new player that's joining the game so they can know what to pursue and what to go for. These are weapons that I see a lot in the community being used a lot, but they don't require a high-end content to obtain them, but they are also really good in the game if you're going to go into high-end content, and they're going to be very useful. So I just want to preface that before we get into things. All right, Guardians. So we're going to kick this off with one of probably one of the most popular auto rifles in the game, and one of my hands down favorite weapons to use in Destiny 2 is going to be the Amit AR2. Amit AR2 is going to be a craftable weapon. It can be obtained through Banshee 44 and through random drops also. That's going to be your source to obtain Amit AR2. Now, with weapons in Destiny, some weapons are more preferable to be used in PvP versus PvE. Some are better in one mode versus the other. This weapon in particular excels in both areas of content, PvP and PvE. Now, for PvP side of things, the ideal role you want to go for is gut shot straight, dynamic sway reduction, high cal rounds, and arrowhead break. And you want to kind of swing your masterwork more towards stability side with the Amit AR2. With this weapon, it's so good. If you aim for the head, trust me, you are going to get the kill with the Amit AR2. I've done it time and time again, and this is not even the role that I use in PvP. I use a PvE role, which I'm going to get into now, is what I use in PvE. So now for PvE, the role that I originally got when I originally crafted my Amit AR2 was Incandescent, Ambitious Assassin, Ricochet Rounds, and Arrowhead Break is what I'm using. I think I have a Stability Masterwork on the one that I currently have, but the key perks that I'm using is Incandescent and Ambitious Assassin is what you want to go for PvE when it comes to the Amit AR2. Hands down, one of my favorite ARs in the game. Must and a definite pickup, even if you're starting the game and you don't have the materials to craft it yet. Hopefully you get lucky enough to get either one of these two roles to start off with and use, but the weapon does work. All right, so Guardians, I wanted to condense this list down to my 5 weapons, but there are some honorable mentions. Let's go into those. So what we got first is Witherhoard. Witherhoard can be obtained through the Exotic Archive. That's going to be the way you want to get it. And then, of course, you also want to be able to get the catalyst for the Witherhoard as well. Very, very good weapon to use in in-game content. Good for tick damage or taking down ads. Definitely a go-to for doing damage on bosses over time. So definitely pick up Witherhoard. Next one, we got the Akelos SMG. This can be obtained through Seraph, Shield, Exotic Rotator missions, Banshee 44, and Zur. The role you want to go for the Akelos SMG would be Seraph rounds, Feeding Frenzy, and Volt Shot. The Akelos SMG is a hands down, if you're doing a arc build, this is one of the weapons you want to have along with that build. Next up, No Composure. With this season being having fusion rifles as an unstoppable for champions, definitely a really, really good weapon to have on this particular. This used to be one of the pinnacle weapons you would get in the activities. Now it's in the Exotic Archive, so swing by and pick that up. We got the Funnel Web. Funnel Web is in that same category as when I mentioned the Amit AR. If you're doing a volatile build, it is a Void SMG, 900 RPM. You can obtain it through world drops. Banshee 44 are going to be the ways you obtain it. The role you want to go with for funnel web is going to be corkscrew rifling, tactical mag, frenzy, and subsistence would be the role you want to go for the funnel web. So these are my honorable mentions. Like I said, so when I started this video, in no particular order, these are just weapons that if you want to build up a good loadout and have some good weapons, these are the weapons you want to go for. And by any means, these are not like low tier weapons. These are very, very good weapons to pick up. All right, next up, guys, we got the Riptide. Riptide is, I would say, out of the pool of all of the PvP weapons that you can obtain through drop, Riptide, Randy's throwing knife, those are probably the top tier drops you can get from the PvP Crucible pool out of all the weapons they have. Not saying the other weapons are lackluster, but those are probably the go-to weapons. Or if you're starting Destiny, a friend is going to tell you, what weapons should you go for off a PvP drop. Riptide is going to be like one of the number one up there. You can get this weapon, like I said, through Crucible, PvP rank up. Recommended role for this particular weapon would be auto-loading holster and chill clip. Same role I have on the one that I use. Now, keep in mind, if you guys don't know, if you want to double down on roles or anything like that, when you go through your ritual activities, meaning Crucible, Gambit, Vanguard, Ops, things of that nature, the more you reset your rank, and you're going to increase your chances to have more perks in those last two columns. So you can have the ability, if you have a particular role you want to get and you want to double down and just have a multi-purpose weapon and not just be stuck into like an auto-loading holster and chill clip, which is a very good role to go with, because when you need it and you pull the weapon out, it's ready. That's one of the good things about Riptide. But you can also get 3 additional perks in the column if you reset over 3 times. So if you didn't know that, that is something I'd like to add for you guys that maybe just starting the game. This is how you can get multiple perks in those last 2 columns by resetting those ranks multiple times. But back to Riptide. Riptide, very, very good weapon. Again, going back into fusion rifles being unstoppable, it puts out, it's fast, it just does work when you need it to do work, when you're in content or if you're in a pinch in an activity. It does work for you, especially with the auto loading holster perk being on there. That is definitely something you want to go for. Next up, we have Deafening Whisper. Deafening Whisper was introduced in Season of the Hunt in Destiny 2. Waveframe archetype itself, this was the very first waveframe grenade launcher in the game, and it was introduced in this season, in Season of the Hunt. Now, Deafening Whisper can be obtained through Dares of Eternity. A little bit harder to obtain because of the weapon pool that is in Dares of Eternity, but if you do get your hands on a role, Lead from Gold and auto-loading holster is the role that you want to go for. That's the role I have on mine as well. I want to say my RNG on that was like hands down the first role that I got of this weapon was this role, and I've had it ever since Season of the Hunt. But going back to the weapon itself, waveframes overall, very good weapons for ad clear. Very, very good to have. Another close contender for that'll probably be, I would say, maybe a little bit easier to get would be Harsh Language. Harsh Language has destabilizing rounds on it, so it'll cause that volatile effect to happen when hitting combatants with the weapon. I would say you can go for that also. With that particular weapon, I would say go for like a Envious Assassin and destabilize around. Envious Assassin kind of sort of works like a auto-loading holster in a sense if you're swapping back and forth between a primary weapon and that weapon. So it'll kind of trigger like an auto-loading holster because it does not have auto-loading holster as an option for a perk on it. But like I said, if you can't get your hands on a Deafening Whisper, I would say the honorable mention to pick up for that, which I should have added to the honorable mentions, would be Harsh Language. All right, next up it's going to be, now this weapon is not obtainable currently. It could change going into a new season because sometimes they've been rotating out some of the Nightfall weapons, but Hothead is a very good heavy weapon to have in your loadout. Hothead can be obtained through Nightfalls. Like I said, currently not in the rotation for weapons, but when it does come back, I would definitely say pick it up. The recommended role you would like to go for. I don't even have this recommended role, but I'll tell you the role I have in a few minutes. Auto-loading holster, last impression, or explosive light is what you want on those last two columns to pick up for a hothead. Weapon does work if you don't have Gallahorn, or if you are using another exotic weapon and you can't use your Gallahorn for as far as for rocket launchers and things of that nature. My role I have is a tracking and Vorpal weapon is what I have on my hothead currently. I would like to get a better one, but if it comes back, I'll definitely be grinding for a new one. But hothead, definitely a very good weapon to have in your heavy slot when it comes to rocket launchers. All right, and my last weapon on this list is going to be Callus Mini Tool. Callus Mini Tool was introduced in Season of Opulence and then brought back again in Season of the Haunted with the incandescent perk on it. This is probably one of the best SMGs in the game next to the Akelos SMG, probably hand in hand together. Two of the best, along with like Funnel Web and all that stuff. Very good SMG to have in your arsenal. The way to get this weapon currently would be the Presage mission, exotic weekly rotator. Get you one and craft the threat detector and incandescent role is the role you want. I have the same role on my Callus Mini Tool. If you're doing any type of solar build with any character or class or anything like that, especially if you need to knock down ads, or if you're in a raid and you're being put on ad clear, this is going to do work for you with the incandescent perk, and it's going to help with threat detector also. One of the very, very good roles that came from Season of the Haunted. Very, very, very good role to get your hands on in Destiny 2. Guys, so this is going to bring the video to a close. These were my top 5 non-endgame weapons in Destiny 2. Now, keep in mind that these weapons were in no particular order. These are the weapons that I use personally when I play Destiny 2. So these weapons are weapons that you don't have to write any in-game content to obtain them. May require a little bit of time to get the role that you want, but at the same time, they do very good work in dungeons, raids, and any type of in-game activity like Grandmaster Nightfalls. So definitely, if you don't have these weapons, go in the game and pick them up. Now, also, I would like if you guys want to catch me for all things Destiny 2, from guides to things of Banshee 44, anything related to Destiny, smash that subscribe button. And if you found this video very helpful, I would appreciate if you guys gave this video a thumbs up, and I will catch you Guardians on the next one.